All right, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris. This is We Love Comics. And sorry about the delay. I had a feeling that things might be delayed a little bit because you never know at the post office when they are going to bring your packages. I've had days where it was dropped off at my house at 9:30 in the morning and other times where it wasn't until 6 o'clock at night. But they're here, and I have my 4 books that I send in each month to PGX. I have a deal with them. I do not get paid, so there are no contracts, so I am under no obligation to say anything other than my experience and what I truly feel. And I also made sure there's a deal for you guys, so especially if you're new and you're not familiar with it, if you look in my description of this in every video, if you send in 10 books to PGX and use the code We Love Comics Free Press, you can get one of your books pressed for free. So I want to make sure I did a deal for you guys. Also, I want to remind people again, just in case if you're new, and I will post it in the live chat, it will also be in the description and in the comments section pinned to the top. The cashback program, which is normally a $10 cashback bonus, they're doing a special this until August 6th. So if you sign up for the first, it's got to be the first time you use it. If you sign up and use the link that I provide, spend $30 or more before August 6th, you will get $30 cashback bonus. And that's a one-time thing. But, I mean, if you buy a $30 comic or something for 30 bucks, you're basically getting it for free. Important thing that one of my subscribers told me, it does not work if you use a best offer. So please make sure you check the rules and see if you qualify if it's in a different country. But I want to share that because that's a great deal for people. And if you click on the link and sign up, I get a one-time referral fee if you do spend the money. So it helps my channel as well. All right, so I see plenty of people are here. These are the 4 books I will go over before I tell the grades. Basically what I predicted they were, the significance of them, if any, and what price I paid for them. And if you saw, I did a video just yesterday about the 4 books I have already sent out. I mailed them yesterday. So they're on their way, and they'll be back between a month and a half. It depends because obviously these days with, you know, things being a little crazy, things are not exactly going to be on normal schedules, which is perfectly fine. Now, I've been doing this with PGX for going on 2.5 years now. They've been doing great jobs. Really happy with what they've done. I send in 4 books every month. I've been, like I said, 2.5 years. I think there have maybe been 3 comics that I wasn't, you know, agreeing with the grade with. But, you know, that's going to happen with any company. But as you can see, they package it very well. They put this blue saran over it so they don't go jumping around and bouncing around in the box. Now, of course, I don't know the grades, so we're going to find them out together. I really like that. It's kind of a surprise thing, so it's a live reaction video. And let's get to it. Alright, so as soon as we get this. And also, don't forget to wait until the end to see who's today's surprise subscriber shout out. You do have to be in the live chat because I picked somebody in the live chat. You don't even have to be a subscriber. Alright, so I see already they did not do the grader's notes on the back, and that's another thing. I must have forgot to write it down. That's another thing I added for you guys. I convinced Daniel Patterson, the owner of PGX, and shout out to Daniel, as always, for doing this with me, where if you want to have the grader's notes placed on the back of the books, you can. It is a $5 charge. Use the code We Love Comics grader's notes if you want them on the back. All right, so let's start this out. I want to make sure I cover it so I cannot see the grade. And we're going to start out with, all right, so this is a book I've definitely recommended in the past. This is Wolverine #1. Now, this is dual signed, I believe. I'm not going to look at the grade. It's signed by Chris Claremont. Oh, it's triple signed, I'm sorry. Signed by Chris Claremont, Louis Simonson, and Joe Rubinstein. So I paid, what did I pay for this book? $26.25. So it doesn't matter to me the grade. I wanted to make sure it got verified. So as you can see, they do signature verifications at PGX. They also do pressings and dry cleanings, which is something I highly recommend people do. no matter what grading company you use, because it will dramatically improve the grades. Trust me, because I've seen so many people that don't do it, then they get the grades and they're not happy and they end up having to do it anyway. You're spending all that extra money. All right, so I paid $25 for this book. I predicted it was about a 7.5 to 8.5. Now, of course, when I make these predictions, I make it before the pressings, and I'm usually pretty close, so let's find out. So book number 1, triple signed, paid $25 for, well, $26.25. Survey says for the first grade, 9.4. So that is awesome. If you look at this book, and I'll show you the back, the book is pure white. So I'm not that great when it comes to grading upper graded books. There are no creases along the edge. This book is famous for a lot of color breaks. So I definitely undergraded this, and the pressing definitely did it justice because there was a crease all the way along the spine. A lot of times that happens because people, they put books on top of each other and the side with the staple kind of puts a little indent. Now, because it doesn't break color, that can easily get pressed out. So I'm very happy with this. Now, this is a book I highly recommend getting because, of course, when Wolverine comes to the MCU, everybody's going to want Hulk 180, 181, and to a lesser extent, Hulk 182. Then they're going to go for giant-size X-Men, but that's another expensive book. This is a book that I really think will have its day. So this book is pretty cheap, and learn from lessons like Ultimate Fallout 4. Just because a book stays cheap for a long time does not mean it's going to stay that way. So I'm very happy with this. Looks beautiful with white pages. What did I say? I said off-white pages, so I'm pretty close with that. It's hard to say. But this is the first Wolverine in his own title and the first appearance of Yukio in a cameo. So they did verify it, triple signed. Very happy with the 9.4. And again, I'll show you the back. I mean, it is absolutely white. So I definitely did a bad job grading this book. But again, I did it before the pressings and dry cleaning. And they do an amazing job. And because it's in-house, it doesn't have to get shipped anywhere else. So there's less chance of it getting damaged. And book looks beautiful. 9.4 white pages. Sounds good to me. Especially paying under $30 for that book. Alright, next up. Alright, this one does have the grader's notes. So let me see. 2 of the 4 have grader's notes. Interesting. So they must have forgot on 2, but I don't care. Alright, so let's see what this one is. Alright, so we got Silver Surfer #1. This is another book I definitely recommend. Now, this, of course, is not his first appearance because that's in Fantastic Four #48. But this is the origin of Silver Surfer, so there is some significance in this book. This is a great book to get. This is a Silver Age book, roughly around 1968. I bought this book, and I have a couple other copies. I bought a couple of years ago, so I paid decent prices for this. I only paid $80.55. It's a lower grade, and I'll show you. I'm trying to cover. The back is, there's some, like, see, I don't know if you could see, some little dirt there that the pressing, dry clean couldn't get out. Some little bit of wear and tear. There's a little bit of some color breaks along the edge, and that's to be expected, especially with the black cover. It's going to show everything. But like I always say, low grade is better than no grade. And Alex asked, why PGX and not CGC? Well, I've said the story 5,000 times, but you might be new, so I'll say it really quick. I contacted CGC, CBCS, and PGX about making this kind of deal where I said, if I do an advertisement for you, can I get some books graded? PGX was the only one that contacted me. I never heard from CGC or CBCS. So I work with them, and I haven't had a problem with them. I've been doing this for 2.5 years, so they allow me to do, for free, send 4 books in. I pay for the shipping, of course. But they do pressings, dry cleaning, signature verification, and encapsulation with grader's notes for free for me. So I cannot pass up that deal. You can use whoever you want. And one thing is, I don't get paid by them, so I don't have to sign a contract. So that's why I do it. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, so I paid $80.35. I predicted about a 3.5 to 4.5 with off-white to white pages. So let's see what we got. All right, 5.0. Let me look at this book. All right. Now I'm going to check really quick because there is, it says, it does have the grader's notes, so I'm going to read these off. It says multiple stress lines along spine, cover and edge wear. That's acceptable for a 5.0. Half-inch spine split at top for front and back cover. So I'm going to look that up, and it says 3-inch quarter crease at front cover. So there is, I mean, that's not a big deal. Even at a 5.0, there's a color crease that goes along, where is it? Goes along here. That breaks color, but as you can see, it's only one. It's not one of those that has hundreds of them. So I'm going to look this up. If it ends up a 5.0 doesn't allow a half-inch spine split, I'll take this one out. But I'm going to look at it first because we'll see if it qualifies. So multiple stress lines, that's okay with a 5.0. You are allowed to have stress lines because it is a mid-grade. But I want to check on the half-inch spine split. If it ends up that doesn't qualify for a 5.0, I will get back to you on that, and I will take it out if that's the case. If it does qualify for that, then that is a legitimate grade. Other than that, it looks pretty good. So we'll see. This one to be determined. So this might be a little bit too high, but again, the only reason I'm saying that is because it does have a half-inch spine split at the top of the cover. So I want to see if that qualifies under a 5.0. If it does, then that's a right grade. If not, I will take it out because, like I've said, if there are mistakes, I don't want to profit off of them. I see so many people where books are clearly a 9.2 to a 9.4, and other companies grade them a 9.8, and they say the magic words, I'll take it. I don't do that. So I'm going to look this up, and I'll get back to you. I'll post it when I find out. So they say off-white to white pages, which is what I said, I believe. Yes, off-white to white pages. So if it qualifies for the half-inch spine split at a 5.0, then this grade is perfectly fine. Because as you can see, cover presents really well. And the multiple stress lines, there is one line that goes all the way down. Well, not all the way down, for most of the part. It's from about here down. And if you have a book where there is what they call a subscription crease and it breaks color, you can get a 5.0 with that. So I'll look this up. That one's to be determined. If it ends up that spine split keeps it from becoming a 5.0, I'll take it out and I'll let you guys know because I like to be honest. And like I say, it's due to human error, so mistakes can happen, or that could be right and I just didn't grade it properly. Because just because I say a grade does not mean that I get it right. But we'll find out. Alright, so 2 more to go. This is a book, this is either my 3rd or 4th copy. This is a book I highly recommend. If you don't know what this is Rick and Morty #1. This is the Pocket Like You Stole It, but this is the Nerd Block variant. Oh, let me see, right there. This book was recalled. So there are only about, from what I understand, about 100 of these in existence. I have 3 or 4 of them. Now, of course, with Rick and Morty signing multiple season deals, this book is only going to continue to get hotter and hotter as long as they keep doing a good job with the seasons. I really wish they'd do more than 10 episodes, but we'll have to see. No grade to low grade, a half-inch tear can be up to an 8.5. All right, so there we go. So no grade to low grade, and I'll check just to verify. But no grade to low grade said a half-inch tear can be up to an 8.5. So if that's the case, then a 5.0 is not out of the realm of possibility for that book. Thank you for that. But I'll double check just to make sure. So like I was saying, this is the rarest Rick and Morty #1. It is even rarer than the 1 in 50, kind of like that almost all white, the Justin Roiland variant. This is even rarer than that. So this is definitely a book to get. Now, this book is probably not going to be a 9.8. I said, just in case, I paid $405.85, which isn't a bad price for this book. I said between a 9.4 and a 9.8 with white pages, but it does have some grader's notes, which means that it's most likely going to not be a 9.8, which is fine. But let's see what we got. Survey says, there we go, 9.6. So I'm perfectly fine with that. It's funny, all 3 copies that I've graded so far, I think all came back 9.6s. So I was not able to get a 9.8, which I'm happy about, because if it's not worthy of a 9.8, I don't want it. So as it says, Nerd Block variant. Let's see. White pages, which is to be expected with a brand new book. Pressing again, even with newer books, highly recommend it. So they did say minor production wear on back cover and light stress line along spine. So that is allowed for a 9.6. Let's see if I could see that stress line. Does it say along the back? It says along the spine. Okay. There is a microscopic. You probably will not be able to see it. It's not even a quarter of an inch. So a tiny, tiny little color break along the spine. So that, again, that qualifies for a 9.6. I'd love to get a 9.8 with this book, but I also want it to be a fair grade. So 9.6, definitely take it. That book definitely has room to grow. All right, last but not least, and don't forget, guys, if you're just joining in, sign up for that cashback program. The link is in the description. It is also in the live chat and in the comment section of the video. It's a bonus until August 6th. If you spend $30 or more before August 6th, make sure you don't use the best offer. You'll get a $30 cashback bonus. And Simon says, please hit the like button. 58 people watching, only 23 thumbs up. Well, 22, but that's all right. Hey, I'm happy with any thumbs up that you guys are kind enough to give. So that was nice of you to say. Thank you for that. All right, so last but not least, we're saving the best for last. This is a book I've been recommending for years. I have several copies of this book. I don't think I spent more than $40 on any of them. And this book still has so much room to grow. I already have 2 of these at a CGC 9.8 that I sent in years ago. So this is Edge of Spider-Verse number 2. As you can see, it is the first print. This, of course, is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy, a.k.a. Ghost Spider, or a.k.a. Spider-Gwen, whatever name you want to use. This is a book that got hot really quick. I definitely jumped on the bandwagon around 2016. I bought about 5 or 6 copies. I sold one that was a 9.6 a couple years ago, but I don't think I've spent more than $35 on any one of these. And this one's no exception. I paid $32 even. So I paid $32 for this book, so it doesn't even matter what grade it comes back as. But I said between a 9.4 and a 9.8. I keep it that way just in case, because you never know. Something could get damaged in the mail. But there are no grader's notes on the back, so that is very promising. Let's see if we can end this on a high note. And don't forget to stay until the end to see who's today's surprise subscriber shout out. I did say white pages, which is pretty much expected for this book at this point. Newer books usually get them, and if they don't, what are you doing to your comics? So here we go, the last book to be saved the best for last. Yes, we did. So this is my third 9.8 Spider-Gwen Edge of Spider-Verse 2. Very happy with this. Like I said, I sent 2 of these. These are the original ones. I didn't buy them for cover price, but I bought these. I bought like 5 or 6 of them back in 2016. The 2 I sent to CGC never even got them pressed, because back then I did not even know about getting them pressed. I sent 3 of them in, actually. 2 came back at 9.8 and 1 came back at 9.6. So I can only imagine if I would have sent that 9.6 back in to get it pressed, probably would have got a 9.8. So the books I bought from this one seller, they were gems. So the easiest way to find out with these books, you got to be careful, because a lot of times with this staple right here, it tends to get very dirty because of the fact there's some black on the back. So when they were stacked in the comic shops, a lot of that black would smear on that one part, especially if somebody flipped it over. But if you don't have the blackness there, which you can clearly see it does not have, the chances of a 9.8 in this book are really good. So a 9.8 of this book with a CGC is roughly about $550 to $600. But I don't base things on today. This character, like what you see with Miles Morales, has so much room to grow, especially since they're doing another Spider-Verse movie. And I really think, in my opinion, they are eventually going to do maybe a video game like they did with Miles Morales with her as the lead, and then eventually get her own solo movie, and then maybe one day get into the MCU in a have a playable character instead of a cartoon. So, great way to end out. Overall, grades are pretty good. I was questioning the 5.0, but I will double check. But one of my subscribers says with that half-inch tear, you can get that up to an 8.5, so that surely would not be out of the realm of possibility for a 5.0. And like I said, if you can have a subscription crease all the way down the middle that breaks color, and you could still get a 5.0. So absolutely ends up, it looks like it's in under the realm of possibility with that. So I'm very happy, and I like being wrong sometimes, and that's why I tend to undergrade, because if I'm going to be wrong, I would rather be wrong and it be higher than overgrade and find out it was, lower, because that tends to be disappointing. So, great books overall. Check out the video I did yesterday. Not as many people saw it. I got over 9,000 subscribers. Only about 600-700 people checked it out. So, if you want to see, I got some really good modern books that I'm sending out that I just mailed the other day, and it will be coming back. I'm so looking for it. All 3 of the 4 have 9.8 potentials. One probably a 9.4 to 9.6, but it was already a graded book that I graded years ago and before I knew about pressings. So when I opened that book up, I cracked it open, and here is the CBCS. This is the part that where the comic was. There were a lot on the back, a lot of creases in the, I'm sorry, not creases, but a lot of bends in the back that did not break color. So it was graded a 9.0. A pressing is going to get all of that out, especially the corner that was kind of bent, but it did not break color except maybe the tip. But you can even still get a 9.8 with that as long as that's the only defect. Because remember, a 9.8 is not perfect. It means it can have 1 or 2 little minor details wrong with it. So, very happy with this book. Looking forward to the next batch coming out. I do this every month, so stick around. Let me know what you thought. Let's do today's surprise subscriber shout out. And sign up for that cashback program because it does help me. I've been out of work for 4 months now, so every little bit helps. And let me see if I could find the person that told me about that 8.5. All right, we're going to give him the, or her, I don't want to assume. But no grade to low grade, you are going to get today's surprise subscriber shout out. You put in the effort for that. He said the half-inch tear can be an 8.5. And Jason Ovian also says 5 is fair for it, Chris. I had a book missing a chip in the cover and tear, and it came back a 5.0. Spine split of half-inch, not bad in my opinion. All right, so it shows. It also shows I got some more work to do with knowing my grades and everything. I'm not perfect with it. Sometimes I make what I guess it might be. So it's a learning process, and like I said, if I'm going to be wrong, I'd rather it be wrong upward than wrong downward. So we're going to have 2 surprise subscriber shout-outs today. Give the shout-outs a shout-out. And even if you've already signed up for that cashback program, share the link. It does help. Joey, the Stuntmaster, says, does PGX recognize the Black Error variant? I would assume so. I'm not fortunate enough to own one to know, but this is what I would recommend. If you have that book, and congratulations if you do, what I would highly recommend is on the back of the bag of that book, if you send it in, no matter where you send it in, take a piece of tape, put it on the back of the bag, and write that it is the Black Error variant. This way you don't have to worry. I always put information on the back. If there's something like, for example, if it has signatures, I write all of the signatures that are on the back so they don't have to guess what they are. If there's something like that, if it's a specific error or a specific variant, I always write it down. So this way you don't have to worry, because remember, it is human error. People can make mistakes. They can forget. it can happen with all companies, and I've seen it happen with all the companies. So what I would always say is never assume, put information, and then this way you have a much better chance of getting the outcome that you want. So with that being said, that is the video. I am very happy with all the grades. Thank you so much for the people that were kind enough to give this a thumbs up. It definitely helps. I want to tell everybody out there, please, collecting comics is fun. If you don't have a comic, just say I don't have it yet. The fun part is the hunt. A lot of times when we get a book that we've always wanted, it's very exciting, but once you have it, that thrill of getting it is gone. So just appreciate what you have. Look forward to what you don't have that you work hard to get, and you'd be amazed at time and time again how many keys will come your way, because many of you may or may not know I had a major collection in my teenage years. I mean, I had like a 9.0 Hulk 181. I had literally a 9.8 Conan #1. I had a 9.6 Amazing Spider-Man #9. Now, it wasn't great at that, but they would have been. I had a top-of-the-line collection that got stolen from me. So at this point, and it will change someday, but as of this moment right here, I can't afford to get those big grades back again. It took me years to be able to build up my collection to the way it's been. Just be patient, have fun, and remember, it's collecting comics. It's not going to be the end of the world if you miss an auction or somebody outbids you or a grade doesn't come back the way you want it to. Just enjoy it for what it is. If somebody doesn't like what you're doing, who cares? It's your collection. You collect the way you want. It doesn't matter if every person on the planet says what you're doing is crazy. As long as you enjoy it and you're not harming anyone else, by all means, do it and just have fun. So thanks for everybody participating into this live chat. For those that hit the like button, even the ones that didn't, even if you hit the thumbs down button, as long as you're here, you showed another view on my channel, and it is definitely appreciated. So maybe I'll get 1 or 2 people to subscribe, and I'll see you next video. So don't forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is we love comics. You all have a great day. I'll see you next video. Much love.